behind the camera, we're the NC Beer guys. Welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We are pleased today to be up in Eden, North Carolina. We're on Washington Street with the fine folks from the Rockingham Community College Brewing, Distillation, and Fermentation program. And it's one of the few community college programs in North Carolina that offers an associate's degree in brew making, beer making, and we're going to talk about it. And we're here first with our program director and department chair, Keith Elliott. Is that right, Keith?
That's correct.
Good. Good to meet you. Thanks for having us in.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming up here and seeing our center.
We're very excited to be here. It was not too much of a haul for us.
No, it's a nice little location.
It's
here.
Nice day for
we
it,
call
too.
it our Center for Brewing Sciences.
Center for Brewing Sciences.
That's correct.
And we're in an old retail storefront.
This was an old retail storefront. It was, I believe, it was a shoe store a number of years ago when it was originally built.
And there must be a reason we're not on the campus.
Oh yes, we wanted to take the brewing off campus for logistical reasons, but this has turned out to be a really nice location for this. We get a lot of good foot traffic up and down the street.
And we'll back up a minute and let you see a little bit of what's behind us. But why don't you introduce your associate?
All right, beside me here is Brad Overby. He's the program coordinator for the Horticulture Technology program. Okay. Horticulture is a big part of what this brewing program is all about. Beside him is Cindy Vickers. She's one of our part-time instructors. She's doing microbiology for us right now for brewing. And Tom Epplett, who is also a part-time instructor for us. He's doing our safety and sanitation class. Cindy's retired from Miller Coors, and Tom is currently employed by Miller Coors.
And for our viewers who don't know about Eden and their history, there's a huge Miller Coors plant here. So that's why we're benefiting from their expertise they bring to the community, and both being active and retired employees and pulling them into community college, and they're just contributing to the overall benefit of the program.
Yes, it's been a very good collaboration.
So we're in our first full year.
Yes, this is the second semester of our first year.
And just to go ahead and get this out of the way, students have to be 21 years of age to come here and brew.
Yes.
And be part of the enrolled population in the program.
That's correct. To be part of the brewing program,
Because
take the brewing classes,
sample what you make, and that's
right.
a part of it.
Yeah, they have to be 21 years
and
of
that
age.
must lead to a little bit of a different student base than the general community college.
Well, that's true. We've attracted obviously a little bit older clientele for this program.
So how did this all come about? Where was the germination of this whole idea to do a brewing program at the community college level?
Well, it came from our president, Dr. Michael Helmick, about 2 years ago, not long after he came here. He was noticing the proliferation of craft breweries in the state and in the country for that matter, and he thought, well, maybe we need to have a brewing program.
And sitting right in the same county with Miller Coors didn't hurt.
And that didn't hurt. And so he checked around and came to find out that there was nobody doing this.
There was nobody doing it statewide when you started.
There's actually nobody in the country in the community college setting that was doing a 2-year brewing science program.
Okay.
And so he decided, well, let's see about us doing it. And so a group of people got together and some collaboration with some other community colleges. And 2 years later, here we are.
And the students are just started last fall, so they're finishing their first year now.
That's correct.
And if I understood correctly, everybody does the same track for the first year. And then what? And that's right.
Yes, sir. At that point, the students will break off into 2 tracks.
What is the first? What is the first year
track is the
amounts to? What kind of coursework?
First year is going to be survey of craft beverages, microbiology, intro to fermentation.
Yeah, we've got a fermentation, safety and sanitation class.
So it's laying the foundation, for them in the second year to make some option decisions?
Yes, sir. Like I said, they'll break off into 1 of 2 tracks, one being the specialty agriculture pathway, where they will learn the cultivation and selection of hops.
The farming side, the agriculture side.
Taking the raw grain, making malt.
The coming into the brewery issues.
Yep, your raw ingredients.
Okay.
Then the other track is going to be the equipment packaging and maintenance track, where they're going to learn about glycol chillers, sanitary welding,
the
electrical systems,
making the beer, the packaging, putting out, and there must be a marketing component somewhere.
Yes, there's a marketing class that's actually in both tracks. That was kind of an important aspect.
And you were saying off camera that the kids that do the first year, they are certified to get a certificate if they don't continue into the second year, but yet everybody has so far decided to continue into the second year.
Yes, at this point right now, I think just about all that we have are going to probably continue on.
And they will earn a regular, what we know about as associate degree.
That's correct. If they take all of the classes in the program, they will earn an associate in applied science degree in brewing, distillation, and fermentation technologies.
Good, good. So Cindy, tell us a little bit about what your role is here.
My role is an instructor for microbiology.
And that's what you did in your work life.
My work life, I had many hats in the quality department, analytical chemistry, microbiology, inline instrumentation, technical packaging. But what we're trying to emphasize here is the handling of the yeast. Yeast is very important to beer, as we all know, and also to back up some of Tom's work with the sanitation portion, how we monitor for sanitation. And we're also doing quite a bit of sensory analysis in the class.
And Tom, your role is, she referenced sanitation.
Pretty much the same thing. I'm one of the instructors here. My focus is primarily sanitation and safety, although that's not my specialty at the brewery. I've had enough years to be exposed to it. So we go over, and safety is obviously very, very important, especially in a small, any brewery for that matter, because you're dealing with boiling liquids, you're dealing with cold, you're dealing with pressures, you're dealing with a lot of different heavy equipment, ergonomics.
Forklifts maybe run around.
Well, yeah, but in the case of a craft brewery, a lot of lifting too, you know, that type of thing. So we go over the usual stuff, the HAZCOM program, the HACCP programs, personal protective equipment, safety on fork trucks and so forth and so on. With sanitation, again, that's, you know, supporting what Cindy does in the area of making sure that your vessels are clean, because one thing you don't want is a micro-infection that could spoil a great batch of beer.
Sure.
Okay, and Keith is aware of this. I do take some liberties too, and maybe get out of those two realms and actually get into the hardcore aspects of brewing, which I thoroughly enjoy. And we talk about some what I like to call conundrums that we run into at the brewery and how we would problem solve
Some
them.
real life situations.
Real life situations.
Might not be in the books,
right? Yeah.
They're going to face.
Oh, they're probably in the book somewhere. I just haven't written it yet.
Okay.
So, okay.
And I don't know who is best to answer the question, but how would you judge this as far as how academically challenging it is compared to a lot of associate degrees at community colleges?
Well, I would say this is a very academically challenging program. I think the students...
So it's not for the casual student?
No. This is for a student that's really committed about learning about beer.
And the fact that they're 21 must help with that somewhat. I mean, they're not just coming out of high school not knowing what they want to do.
And that's correct.
They've had a few years to age up.
Yeah, and most of the people that have taken the program so far have had an interest in beer prior to taking the class. So they had some background. Several of them were avid home brewers. Some actually already worked some in the brewing industry.
And Brad, what do we hope they will do career-wise with their associate degrees? What are some options that may be out there for them in the future once they graduate?
Well, of course, first option is going to be, if you're already working in the brewing industry, is an increase.
Yes.
Okay.
Is an increase in position. Get a little extra pay.
Because now you carry a credential, you carry something that says, I don't know it only from life experience, I know it from an academic perspective as well.
Right. And what I would love to see is some students get together, do the networking, and actually leave out of here and possibly start their own micro
That'd be great.
brewery. I love that entrepreneur side of it. So,
do you teach small business aspects of running your own business, or is that something we're going to have to get that somewhere else?
Well, that'll be part of the marketing class that we've got as part of the program. They'll get some of that there.
Because they all find it's not just making beer. It's the other side of the business is always a challenge too.
That's correct.
Because many a brewer has decided they want to be a brewery and had to face the other side of the coin too.
yes. And another thing that I'm looking forward to is we're in a heavy agricultural community here. I run farms myself, and something for the farmer to be able to switch off as tobacco still continues to go into a decline.
Right.
Get some crops there, some new crops and some new growth potential.
Can we grow hops in the climate up here, in the soil up here?
Oh, most definitely. In fact, we have a hops field at the college that Brad is putting in.
Hop yard.
Ain't produced yet? I mean, it's coming in along or just starting?
It's just starting.
Okay.
We'll be in their second full year of growth this year.
And the quality's not there until like 3
about
years,
3 years,
or so?
3 to 4 years to get them up and going.
And will you use those in this program when you?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. One of our goals is to be able to produce a beer with all local ingredients. We're already got some contacts with some local grain, and we'll be doing malting as part of this program. Brad will be doing a class in the agriculture track where we'll be setting up a small malting operation and malting our own grain.
That's great. Good. So what happens to the beer that the students make and produce? I mean, they obviously get to sample a little bit and know the quality control, at least that aspect. You can't sell it to the public.
No, at this time we cannot get a license to sell. We're in the process.
You are licensed as a brewery to operate?
We're operating under the
ABC?
educational exemption for a school.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
there's an exemption that allows us to produce alcoholic beverages
for educational purposes, not for sale, not
That's
for the
correct.
public.
And so that's what we're operating under now. But we're hoping to get a law change to allow us to be able to sell this to the public and hopefully be able to recoup some of the money that's going into the program.
Because right now, even the public on the street couldn't come in and
No.
sample the beer, even if you wanted to get some public feedback. It's just not allowable now.
That's correct. We can only do that within the school itself.
So a lot of good beer must kind of go to waste at some point.
So far, we haven't had that problem yet. We've been able to find
just
people
pour out
within
the
the
bad
school.
stuff. Just pour out
right.
mistakes, like all of us brewers do.
That's correct.
Good, good. What feedback are we getting from the students? When you're in the classroom, you mentioned off camera that some of the classes, they just really feel good about themselves for taking, and they tell us about the comments you got from some classes.
I think lectures are good, but I think they have really appreciated the hands-on that we've been able to provide with the brewing equipment and also in the laboratory setting. They know how to do cell counts, they know how to do dead cell counts, they know how
now
to do
you don't have a lab
slide.
on premises, or do you have a small?
We do use the lab at RCC.
Okay, the lab at,
So my class,
that's the main campus.
my class is at RCC.
Your classes are on the main campus?
Yes.
So all the classes are not up here then?
No, the
I
only
see,
classes here are the classes where they're actually needing to do brewing.
You just happen to be here for this part of it.
Right.
We want to transition real quick and look at the system they have. Whoever knows it best can describe it. It's the Savco system, which is not unfamiliar to some of our viewers, I'm sure. Walk us through the setup.
All right, you're correct. This is a Savco system from a company called Brew Magic. It's a half-barrel brewing system, and it's kind of considered the smallest of the true process brewing system. It does have its own temperature control system. Yeah, we've got
Grain
a small
starts coming in
3 mil
right.
grain mill over here, and so they'll grind their grain, and we've got the mash tun here, and obviously the hot liquor tank. It's a very nice little system. They've been getting capacities of around about 12 to 13 gallons at a time with this system.
And do we bottle keg, or how do we store what we produce?
Both. They've been bottling some and kegging some.
Okay.
So at this point, we've yet to run out of refrigeration space, but this semester they've been brewing more than they did the first semester, so maybe by the end of the semester we might be getting tight on some refrigeration space.
Right. So we might have to go back and hit the president up for that. Good idea is generated enough. We need a little more money.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right. So we're about ready to wrap this up. Anything you need to get on the record or want to say to people before I close it up?
Well, I just
Tom's got a
Yeah, I would just like to add, a number of the students are being pretty ambitious in going after what's called the Institute of Brewing and Distilling General Certificate, which they will have to take a test. Now, I've taken that test. It's a challenge.
But you don't have a lot of doubts about their preparation.
I think they're going to do just fine. They're raring to go.
And what does that allow them to do once they get that?
Well, it's more than just hanging something up on the wall. It's something you can put on your resume. It says, hey, I've accomplished this, and I'm a knowledgeable brewer. I know how to make beer. Okay.
Right.
Now, of course, IDB, which is the abbreviation, goes all the way up to basically a PhD level if you want to go that far. But this is the entry level.
That's the first entry.
That's the first entry level. And
for them.
this course was pretty much designed to complement that. I think going in, we wanted to make sure that if they wanted to go after it, they could. So,
And they'll be probably prepared to do so.
they were preparing for it. Yeah, they were preparing for it. So yeah. And that will be, I think, May 7th is the test date. So.
And it must be like annually or a couple times a year.
It's twice a year, and they'll probably corner me to be the proctor for it. So. Yeah.
So I think we've got 8 or 10 students now.
Yeah, we have 8 students right now left.
What is the capacity? I mean, is it capped, or you can take all comers?
We are starting out with 14 to 15 students is what
Okay.
we were trying to start with last August.
And I know it's a 2-year program. In the second year, you will repeat the first year again, or not?
That's
so
correct.
So people could still come in this fall. They could come in and still do the first year. And so you'll have some people in the second year of their program, and some people just starting their first year.
That's correct. Yeah, we'll be able to start a whole new group of students this fall. And we've still got some spaces available, so people need to come on out and get signed up.
Great. So if you're out there and watching us and think you might be interested in a credential for your future, or a new career, or wherever you might be in your life path, give the folks at Rockingham Community College a call and see what your interest might be and what they might be in you. Thanks for having us today. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you for coming.
And for the NC Beer guys, this has been another episode of the NC Beer Buzz from Rockingham Community College up in Eden, and the Brewing, Distillation, and Fermentation program. So remember, drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.